see. What new big games are you two planning on playing?
New big games? What games are there? Fuck. I know I'm going to be playing Monster Hunter Rise when that comes out in March.
Maybe something big that came out this year.
Well, I'm currently playing Watch Dogs Legion and Valhalla and Ghost of Tsushima.
You just can't not call it Tedishima, can you?
No.
That's so offensive to Japanese culture.
You're offensive to Japanese culture.
Technically, yes, my existence is, but
Yeah, 100%.
That's a different story. I also have Valhalla as well, and apparently there's boobs in the game, so...
There's multiple boobs and drinking games, so it speaks to me very well.
Yay! You said this game's Valhalla? Where's it at?
He's just gonna go and buy it right away. Listen, man, it's not that kind of game.
Why not?
Dude, what is this? The Dawn? Well, it's an anime girl. It's a third-person shooter game.
The Last of Lifers.
No, that's not it.
Please tell me more.
It looks like a generic... It does look like a generic, like, third-person shooter, though.
What is it?
It's called The Dawn.
The Dawn.
I'm going to try and play Cyberpunk 2077.
I want to try play that. I just can't right now.
See how it works on my computer.
I am going to try to play The Dawn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Fucking live it up.
What is this game? This game came out December 11th?
Oh, yeah. How was Age of Calamity?
Oh, Age of Calamity. Yeah, that's a good one to talk about. It's fantastic. I love it.
That's just the Hyrule Warriors, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Hyrule Warriors. The whole point is it takes place as a prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So it takes place during the 100 years that happens leading up to.
But it's similar to the gameplay that is Hyrule Warriors, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is essentially it is Hyrule Warriors game, but it's a lot of fun. Like at the beginning, you actually have to recruit the guardians that will run the divine beasts, and you actually get to play as the divine beasts, which is super fun.
Huh.
Just get to super fuck things up.
And then Link's girlfriend,
who Mifa?
Yee.
Yeah, you get to play as her. You get to play as all of them actually as you unlock them. So it's not like an open world kind of thing, but it does have it's not a linear storyline. Like you don't have to recruit the guardians in a very specific order. It gives you the option to recruit them in whatever order you want, and after you recruit them, they join your team, and then you can use them in the battles. And they all have their own unique capabilities and stuff. And you also can play as Zelda, and you can play as Impa, and the fucking Korok guy, the big Korok seed guy.
Huh.
The fuck is his name?
I don't even know, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it's actually really fun. I lost myself in that game for quite some time.
Yeah, that's when we were supposed to be playing Moonlighter, I think.
Yeah,
because you you decided to play Hyrule Warriors instead.
Yeah, I did. I done goofed.
Moonlighter, what's that? Forget that game.
Yeah. It's so good though. I love it. And then I got Immortals Phoenix Rising or whatever, the new game that came out by Ubisoft.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play that, but like there's places around me that sell at half price than everywhere else, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely been on sale for a while. I don't think the game had sold as much as they expected it to, but then again, it's really hard to sell like a new IP nowadays. It's much easier to sell like a new Assassin's Creed game, but I guess I think it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey that they did a lot of like the Greek mythology in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Did.
Yeah, it was Odyssey.
Okay. They wanted to make a game because they did so much research on the Greek mythology. They wanted to make a game that was completely versed in it, and that's when Immortals Phoenix Rising Phoenix Uprising, Phoenix Rising. I can't fucking remember, but that's when that game came out, and I honestly don't think it's selling as well as they expected it to, because a lot of people don't seem to be super into it right now. It's a really fun game. I really enjoy it, but it keeps going on sale, which makes me think that it's not selling as many copies as they were expecting.
I think it's because it came out like between, I think it was Legion and Valhalla.
Probably. Yeah, it didn't have a strategic launch, that's for sure. A lot of games were coming out around the same time.
Not to mention because everyone was still hyped on Cyberpunk,
Yes.
even though that was a garbage fire.
Yeah, that did turn into being a dumpster fire, didn't it? Not that it's like a bad game, but it has a lot of bugs, right?
Yeah, like it doesn't even run on the PS4.
Jeez. What a sad story for that. But anyway, I guess we should probably take a moment real quick to introduce ourselves. Welcome to the Joysticks and Lunatics podcast. I am one of your hosts, BanjomanDudeGuy.
I am your sexiest host, the OverpoweredPeaches.
And I am now the thumbnail guy, the TheChubbyNerdLogan.
Yeah, wait. That is like too behind the scenes for us to mention, but okay.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with him wanting to be a little bit more involved.
No, there's a lot wrong with it.
Oh no. Yeah, you're only here for your sexy Scottish accent and nothing else.
Oh, that is the only reason why I joined this podcast. I don't even care about video games.
That makes sense.
I fucking hate video games.
Yeah, completely. Awful things that is.
The worst things ever to exist. Fuck this podcast for making me play them.
Yeah, what horrible video game do I not want to play today? Are we playing today? Are we talking about today? Words?
That isn't horrible.
There's no reason to be so offended.
Except you should be.
Yes.
I was fucking waiting for Logan to say the name of the game, but he just dropped the ball.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like set it up for you and everything. God damn. All right, never mind. That's the end.
Thank you all for listening.
Oh, shut up. The game we are talking about today is the marvelous Digimon World Cybersleuth.
Digimon Story Cybersleuth, you
Well,
dummy.
Digimon Story Cybersleuth. Yeah.
Yes, Digimon Story Cybersleuth, developed by Mediavision and produced by Bandai Namco Entertainment, released quite a while ago, March 12th of 2015. It was released on the Vita first, is that correct? Vita and for PlayStation 4?
I think it was actually released on the PS3 first in Japan. I have tried looking for like information on it for when it came out in Japan, but I don't think it sold very well there. Like, I think it came out in 2013 in Japan, and then they re-released it for PS Vita.
That is very possible. All I see here is that it was released for PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 back in 2015. And then hold on. Oh wait, that's Hacker's Memory. My silly brain is all silly.
Hacker's Memory came out in 2018 here.
Yeah, okay. So that was the first game, of course, that came out back in 2015, but we played the complete edition. Well, at least Peaches and I did. We played the complete edition.
I played the complete edition too.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool.
Well,
Yes.
you originally had it on the PlayStation 4. You had the game on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but I, bought it again.
Okay. Nice. So Cybersleuth Complete Edition has both Cybersleuth and Cybersleuth Hacker's Memory, which was the sequel that came out in like 2017, 2018, 2017 in Japan, 2018 for Western territories. But the Complete Edition includes all of the Digimon that were new in Hacker's Memory in the original Cybersleuth as well. So there was like 341 Digimon in all the games.
Almost 400.
And I got a total of 7.
I don't even know. I think I may have gotten like 10 or 15.
I had 20.
And if I can mention something else, something that me and you got with the complete edition, sounds like Logan was a purist and he didn't like it at all. Was the bonus Digimon that you got outside of it was like the agency. Yeah, it was outside the agency. There's this woman standing out there, and she gives you a bunch of bonus Digimon. So who were those? Like, what were those, Logan?
Basically, they're chibi equivalents of 5 Royal Knights. If I'm correct, it was Omnimon, Alphamon, Crusadermon, Leopardmon, or as I call them, Duftmon, and Lord Nightmon, I think. No, it was either Lord Nightmon or Gallantmon.
Something like that. These were pretty powerful Digimon, seems
Yeah,
like.
because they're fucking Royal Knights.
I was able to take them and just breeze straight through the second chapter really easy on this. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so based on what you had said, you used the 3 that I didn't use, and I used the other 2. Because I used Alphamon NX and I used Omnimon NX. Those were the 2 I used.
And I don't remember the 2 that I had a hold of.
You had Crusadermon, Leopardmon, and Lord Nightmon.
Gallantmon NX?
Yeah, and I picked them because they were like optimal. They seem to be the optimal versions. So Data, we should probably talk about that too. So that it was Data, Vaccine and Virus. Yeah.
I just used those first 2 because they were the first 2 that was given, and I didn't get the other ones because apparently I didn't have enough memory, and I never put the other ones in the Digibank to get them, so I just left them with the DLC lady.
Did we talk about the rating and the release and the reception?
No, we did not.
I just went to go itch my butt, and my finger ripped through my underwear.
Don't do that.
Just ripped a hole right through my underwear to itch my butt.
So I'm looking on the reviews of this game, and it was 76 on Metacritic, 9 out of 10 on Steam, and 8 out of 10 on a website called RPG's site. So I've never heard of that one before. So this was the Cybersleuth game.
Yes, this was basically Digimon's comeback to the West, because like Japan kept on getting PSP games, PS Vita, 3DS versions of Digimon games, and the West was actually like wanting these games, but people were fan dubbing them. But Bandai Namco kept on, slapping their wrist and almost putting on lawsuits. Kind of like Nintendo.
Why?
Yeah. Huh.
Basically because the last English game of Digimon to release in the West was Digimon World Championship 2008, which was basically just, you had to wrap a rope around Digimon, capture them, digivolve them, train them, and then throw them into a championship. And that didn't do so well in the West, and neither did the last 2 story versions of Digimon, and that was Dawn and Dusk. And they were very amazing games, in my opinion. They're very underrated.
So, what was the reception for this? It doesn't have to be the complete edition. We could just talk about the Cybersleuth, although they will bleed in together, I assume.
Literally, see, because Cybersleuth was one of the most pre-ordered Digimon games in, I think, the West, compared to the very first Digimon World game that released on the PS1 and Windows. So yeah, they had to release a Day 1 edition, which included many other Digimon, such as like the Black Agumon and Gabumon variants, Beelzemon Blast Mode, Cherubimon, and outfits.
Yeah, it was the 20th best-selling in North America and 19th in Europe on the PlayStation 4.
God damn.
It's a really fun game, but the only thing I don't like about the first game is the dialogue.
There is a lot of dialogue in it.
Yes.
It kind of feels like you have to sit there listening to it.
I gotten like 3 hours of play into the game, and I feel like half of that was just speeding through dialogue.
Yeah, like yesterday I was saying to Peaches that the first Digimon Cybersleuth game can be very daunting and it can burn you out extremely easily due to the dialogue.
But I mean, it doesn't take away from it being a pretty good game. It's just story heavy. That's all.
Yeah,
Well, there are a lot of RPGs that are like that too, where the dialogue is pretty integral to the game. Somebody complained about a friend of mine complained about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. He said that he didn't like the game because it was just way too much talking, but I actually adore the game and I will completely go back and play it again and again and again because it's just the gameplay is so good and the dialogue. If you don't like it, you can just skip through it. But there's just so much dialogue to it. But it's such a story rich world. So I guess if you're interested, you can still be like, yeah, this is a good game. I don't mind all the talking.
yeah, but take it from my perspective as I've played it before. I just wish it had like a fast forward button for the dialogue, kind of like what Persona has.
I guess it didn't really bother me a whole lot with the dialogue because I play a lot of JRPGs and they're very story rich for the most part. So there's a lot of dialogue typically in those kind of games. So it just seemed pretty normal to me.
Yeah, plus I just finished Persona 5 Royale on stream and I put a good 90 hours into that game.
Damn.
Yeah, like
That's just a long game
I'm
though.
pretty sure one
Yeah.
stream was almost 5 hours long. It had an hour and a half of fighting, just 3 hours and a half of dialogue. It was so daunting, but still very fun.
Well, I mean, we're talking a little bit about the dialogue, so I guess we should go a little bit into the story, not to spoil anything by any means, but we
Yeah.
both played, or all three of us played a few hours into the game or whatever, so we could talk a little bit about the story thus far that we've experienced, and it's not going to be like any spoilers by any means. But I mean, the story, you take on the role of a character. You get to actually choose if you want to play as a male or female, and you get to name your character, which is kind of nice. You can't customize your appearance in terms of like hairstyles and things like that, but later on in the game, you do get the option to get new clothing options. So you can get like new costumes and shirts and stuff like that that kind of go along with your character, which is kind of nice for adding a little bit more of that character customization or customer characterization, if you would.
Yeah. Ha ha ha.
Sorry. Uh, yeah, you play as that character, which is a student, a Japanese student, and you go into Eden. Eden is like this virtual reality place that everybody just kind of goes into, the cyberspace network that lets you go to a bunch of stuff. But you have a meeting that you have to go to at the very beginning in a place called Kowloon, which is apparently overrun by hackers. And when you get there, you end up actually getting hacked, and you get the ability to use a program called Digimon Capture, which lets you use Digimon, in the world. And that's ultimately how it gets to the point where you get to you get your companion, your Digimon companion and everything, and how you get drawn into this world of Digimon. And as you progress through the story, you encounter other people, these other hackers that exist in the world that also use Digimon, and apparently they're kind of shunned, uh, is is the term. But there's a whole hacker team called Zaxxon, which is pretty much this underground hacker society of people that are like well known for all of their hacker biz. But something happens to your character. You get encountered by some weird, bizarre program that seems to sap other programs of their code. And when you come back into reality, you do not have a physical form. You are all data. And what this allows you to do is allows you to enter into this network mainframe through any type of access point, be it a computer or a television. This interesting little ability that you get, of course, allows you to become this assistant in a detective agency to take on these cyber crimes, if you will, all while you're trying to figure out what happened to your physical body. and it turns out that you had gotten some type of syndrome, this Eden syndrome, where people just lose their consciousness in the networks, and you actually find your physical body after you had put a physical body together with junk stuff. And that's ultimately as far as I had gotten in the game. I've taken on a couple of missions here and there, some stuff on the whiteboard in the detective agency that lets you take on these minor missions and get a little bit more used to the world and understanding the dynamics as well as your abilities in the game. But that's as far as I got in the story, is that you're trying to figure out how to get into your own physical body, and I'm gaining more abilities, to use this cyber body, if you will, in the physical world.
That was actually a good explanation.
Yeah, I didn't get that far, and I actually I didn't get that far, and I didn't pay that much attention. I was just going around trashing Digimon.
Was that a pretty good explanation there, Logan?
Pretty much, but if you want, I can continue talking about like the full game. As I've
Oh, we don't have to
PS4
go into
before.
the full game.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it would literally make anyone who has been like a fan of Digimon in the past, but they just like kind of lost their way due to Cross Wars, Applemon, and did you guys know there's a fucking Digimon series based on Digimon that are apps?
No.
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't look at it.
Okay.
So yeah, to continue on from Banjo's explanation of his experience, this game makes you go for a bunch of quests. You come across certain characters that you think are just one-off but are somewhat reoccurring, such as, like, I can't remember her name.
Nokia?
No, fuck Nokia.
Okay.
I would like to do that, actually.
The only reason Nokia is important in that story is to show off a very amazing animated sequence of Lord Greymon and Metal Gurumon DNA digivolving into Omnimon. You remember Agumon and Gabumon?
No.
Yep.
See, that's
The
the
two
thing
Digimon that Nokia was talking to?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the ones
Yes.
that kind of protect her.
Yes. Those two can become the Royal Knight known as Omnimon, as shown in the first Digimon movie. And basically an all-out war happens in this game between hacker teams, and during that war, the digital world and the human world starts corrupting and merging together to the point where you guys. No, I'll just say it because I don't think you guys are gonna play it past that point.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, what the heck?
There's a green-haired lady that I cannot remember her name, which is not important, but who she is important, because throughout most of the Digimon seasons from Frontier to Data Squad, this Digimon has hated humanity and wants to destroy everything about it. It's such a fucking plot twist.
Is that her?
Yeah, you don't see it coming out anywhere. But this woman I'm talking about, she has green hair. She likes to flirt with anyone. She is a royal knight.
Oh, I think her name is Rai.
Yes, she is Lord Nightmon,
Oh, fuck.
aka Crusadermon. She opens a digital hole
Giggity.
in the sky, and one of the biggest and strongest royal knights there is, Examon. He's just a massive ass dragon the size of Chicago, like each wingspan from one side to the other, massive size of Chicago. Someone's done the math on Reddit, it's weird. Examon is corrupted.
Of course they've done the math on Reddit.
Examon is corrupted and he flies through the portal. And then I want to keep on talking about it, but do you guys want to know the spoiler for your boss?
No. Because anybody that's listening to this is probably going to want to play through it and kind of get all that information themselves.
Okay, I won't tell you who she is, but she is a royal knight herself, and her car gives it away from the color palette. Yes, her and her car are a royal knight.
Interesting.
So, going back in the past, Digimon have been coming to the human world like for many millennia, and millennia in the digital world, because 1 minute in the digital world, no, 1 day in the digital world is 1 minute here. So even if you think about it, a single day could be years in there.
Jesus.
So they've been coming to the human world, like, just to, figure us out, what we're doing, how we came to use internet, because it's connecting to their world, as they are just data, but they have their own ecosystem, their own universes, even their own fucking religions. This entire franchise has a many, like, fuck, how would I put it? It has been inspired by many religions. Like, let's talk about the core of the digital world. King Yggdrasil, for example. The royal knights under him serve King Yggdrasil. This is a core of the digital world that has committed genocide to 95% of the digital realm before, and sent the last 5% to another dimension just to start over, because he felt scared of a mutation called the X evolution gene. For
Jesus.
example, the X evolution gene creates a Digimon to be a lot fucking stronger, and Alphamon is a Digimon born with the X evolution gene.
Now this is all like Digimon lore, right? This isn't all
Yes.
stuff that's included in the game.
No, this is all Digimon lore.
Oh, I gotcha. How long do you think this game is?
50 hours.
50 hours. And that's just like running through the story and not doing side quests?
Yeah, that's just running through a story, not doing side quests. Yeah, like, if you just do the normal stuff, that is literally just normal to Digimon games. It takes so fucking long.
So the way the game works in terms of capturing Digimon, because you get the Digimon capture thing, you don't
Yes.
actually capture them. It's not like a Pokeball or a Digiball or something like that. Every time you encounter them in a battle, you scan them and you get a percentage of their scan. And then after you've reached 100% of the scan, you go into the Digibank, or you go into this Digi Lab or whatever, which is a place offshoot from the network that lets you basically manage all of your Digimon. You can put them in a Digifarm so you can level them up, almost like a daycare kind of thing, where they'll level up and they'll train while you're out and doing missions. But there's a thing in there called like Digiconverter, which allows you to convert any Digimon that you have scanned 100% into a friendly Digimon that you actually get to acquire. And the difference is I know a lot of people will like to compare this to Pokemon because of the whole Digi-evolution kind of thing. But Digi-evolution is different in terms of Pokemon because you actually get to choose from a list of different Digi evolutions. So like one Digimon can digivolve into like 5 or 6 different ones, and it's just a branching pattern. So we all started out with different Digimon. I started out with Palmon, and I fucking evolved him into Vegemon, which was the worst thing that could have ever happened because it was just this nightmare Digimon that I had created. But luckily, you can de-digivolve them and bring them back to their original set with better stats. So you can kind of keep checking out which ones you want to do. But when you de-digivolve them, they have better stats, but they go back down to level 1 kind of thing. So you have to work them up and get them to that level and reach those certain stat requirements and level requirements before you can digivolve them into something different. And you don't get to see, unless you've acquired them before, you don't get to see what they digivolve into. It's just a silhouette, and you just have to take a shot in the dark, which I did, and I fucked up. So, so it's kind of nice in those regards. And so anything that you catch, or not catch, but convert in this game, so to speak, they get to digivolve into into something new. So you keep getting to basically retry. So if you don't like the branch that you went down and you want to try a different branch, then you can bring them back, and then start over kind of thing. So it's kind of nice in that regard that you get to do that.
Why did you tag me on that, Logan?
To show you what Vegemon looks like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why did you do that? That's a mistake.
That was a mistake. I didn't realize that that was my mistake until I did it, and I'm like, what kind of atrocities have I committed? Everything that has happened in my life has led to this decision, and I fucked up big time. So there's a lot of dynamics in this. So it is different from Pokemon. Digimon and Pokemon are completely on two different levels, honestly. So anybody that was wondering what's the difference between the two, there is a huge, wide difference between those two franchises. The only thing that they share is the Mon at the end of the name. That's it.
Yes, but in Digimon, like sometimes the mon doesn't stand for monsters. It's just like the type of file, like kind of like .pg shit like that. It's a file that contains that name.
Yeah, so the Digimon exists, like it says digital monster for a reason. They exist in cyberspace ultimately. They have their own dimension in this digital world kind of thing. As with Pokemon exists in the physical world of that universe and are used in everyday life, Digimon are not quite the same in those regards.
Yeah, Digimon have their own ecosystem, gods, realms. It's kind of scary when you think about it.
Yeah, so I would just wanted to bring that up just to kind of help add a little bit to what you were saying about the lore of Digimon and how
Yeah,
they have all those different things. It's because they exist in this own digital cyberspace area with their own world kind of thing. It's like a different full-on dimension.
but yeah, you're correct from saying that. Like
So I guess we should
Digimon.
talk a little bit about. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I
No,
didn't mean to cut you off.
all I was going to say is that some people will probably still compare this to Pokemon, but think about it. Pokemon started off as a video game that progressed into an anime. Digimon started off as a fucking Tamagotchi.
That is true. Worlds apart.
Yeah. Plus, those Tamagotchi like devices called detectors are still like selling to this very day and still getting brand new ones sold.
Which I actually plan on picking one up here pretty soon myself because they are pretty sweet.
There's multiple that you can choose from that have custom ones with certain Digimon in them, glow in the dark ones.
So I wanted to bring that point up ultimately because that was my thought. Because I had no experience with Digimon whatsoever. I have a lot of experience with Pokemon. I kind of thought they were in the same realm, if you will. But after playing this game and doing the research that I did in regarding Digimon, I realized that they are completely different. So my understanding had flipped 180 degrees going into this. You know, from the end of the last podcast to this podcast, I now know there is a major difference between the two franchises. And with that said, we should probably talk a little bit about our own personal experiences with the game and how we felt about it.
I guess I'll go first then. So I got to the end of chapter 2. I still plan on keep playing it. It's actually really fun. So I miss Digimon so much. I'm surprised I didn't go back to it sooner. Although I find it hilarious that I just used the stupid overpowered Digimon. I think I
Yeah.
will put those away and go with, of course, the ones that I've caught already and work on digivolving them. But the worst part about the game was just all of the dialogue. It just feels like it gets you to do a lot of senseless things when I'm just like, let me just go through the levels. Let me just run through these different levels and just fight Digimon. I mean, that's really what I want to do. So yeah, I'd say my experience with it is I'm having a good time and my brain stopped working. So
You're
I'm
not
gonna
using
get a
Terriermon, are
shot
you?
of Coke. Huh?
You put Terriermon away as soon as you got
I
the little
had to in
mites.
order to get the other ones because the other ones they take up so much memory. So, did we talk about that? In order to have Digimon in your party, you have a certain set of memory, which I assume you're able to grow over time. So, with these more powerful Digimon that comes with the complete edition, you have to basically put all of your other Digimon away, and you can only have 3 basically in your party. So that's essentially what I had to do. And honestly, they were incredibly powerful, but I'm like, let me play the game with like digivolving and leveling up my Digimon like the right way or whatever.
But yeah, to answer your question, you do pick up these memory things. Well, items are just like lying about, or you get them as rewards for completing quests called memory ups. They kind of up your memory by 5 GB at a time, and then like throughout the game, you can add and add and add more Digimon and digivolve them up more, because when you digivolve, they're gonna take up more memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case too. So I guess I can talk briefly about my experience. My experience was very positive. I really enjoyed playing this game. I thought it was a lot of fun. I didn't speed through the dialogue. I actually was paying a little bit more attention to the story, and I was actually really getting involved with the story. And yeah, same in the same vein as Peaches over here, I did use a couple of the more overpowered Digimon, which I definitely want to put away and try actually digivolving them and hopefully not getting another fucking Vegemon. Uh so I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on this game. I actually really do enjoy this game and would like to see this game to its end.
I still can't believe you got a fucking Vegemon.
Yeah.
Okay, I played this game through and through on the PS4 multiple times, and even though I hate the dialogue, it is still one of my favorite like Digimon games. Like really behind Cybersleuth though, nah, Hacker's Memory though, but it's still one of my favorites due to like how much I can remember it compared to other games that I've played multiple times. But unlike you two, I didn't like cop out and use the Royal Knights as a fucking back still to Leon. I grinded
Oi!
my I grinded my Digimon and took down bosses. Like once you
I'm
get
calling the police then.
I you get used to the like advantages and disadvantages between Digimon quite easily. So I went up against the first boss with Higurumon, Gilmon, and Gomamon. Gomamon swept through Growlmon, and these were just 3 rookies. Because, as you probably heard earlier, there's 3 different types: virus, data, and vaccine. Just like fire, grass, water from Pokemon, they all contradict with each other. But there's something added to Digimon called attributes that's related to the 10 elemental warriors that we'll talk about when if we ever play Hacker's Memory. But yeah, there's 10 elements to the digital world, and some types are weaker against another, but you can't say that like, oh, ice is weak against fire. It doesn't go like that. Like, 2 are weak against another 2. So like, electricity and wind are weak against each other, and it kind of like contradicts like that. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, and we should also mention that unlike Pokemon, which is ultimately like a one-on-one or a two-on-two, you actually get a party. So you have like a reserve of like 6 Digimon that you can add that total in your memory, but then you get 3 that you can put in the battle. And when you enter a battle, you all 3 of them join the battle, and you can be battling against 1, 2, 3 opponents or whatever. But all 3 of them join the battle, and then there's like a timeline on the right side of the screen that tells you whose turn it is in order. So you can be very strategic with it, and you can have one of each of those in your party, and then one of them will do like double damage, one will do normal, one will do half, but it gets you a better strategy, if you will. So you can, if you know what you're going to go up against and you know what type they're going to be, you can have all 3 in your party counter that type, or you can have one of each if you don't know what you're going into, which is ultimately what I did. Because I don't know any of my Digimon, I didn't know which one was the data, the virus, the vaccine. So I had one of each of those types in my party, so I knew that at least one of them could do some massive damage.
I actually forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck.
Perfect. I like how I say the intermission ends and we just go dead silent.
To be honest, I think my brain just made that noise.
We told you about the Left 4 Dead mods that we got on.
Oh, that's
No.
funny.
Oh, it's the greatest. Because you saw some of the pictures that we took. I put Ellis in a bikini and Nick in like a sexy, like he's got a shirt off and only pants on, and he's all tanned and stuff. I put Coach in like sexy high heels, and then I made Rochelle one of the characters from Nico Para. Anytime the zombie horde came out, it was just a woman going, "Oh my god, yes!" That's
No, that doesn't beat what he's got the mod on for the infected, the witches, the hunters.
oh yeah, the witch is naked. The hunter, when the hunter comes out, it's Woody. It's like you can hear him when he spawns because he yell. It like blares in your ear. It's like reach for the sky, and then when he jumps on you, he goes ha 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 ha. It's really funny. Then when the tank comes in, it's the hentai remix.
That is so fantastic. We have to play that.
And then when the spitter spits its goo, if you get into the goo, it plays Toxic by Britney Spears.
You also forgot that the boomer is Snorlax.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god.
But
That's wonderful.
I have a few mods on that I love. Two of them are Ellis in a chicken suit. So, okay, to basically get you over this, our friend Guinea plays Ellis all the time when she plays Left 4 Dead with us. So she's always Ellis, and the only reason I know she goes down is because the chicken song blares in my ear.
Ellis has got a chicken suit on, right?
Yeah.
The Left 4 Dead mods are the greatest.
And also, when I go down and when I die, all you hear is Unravel from Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, that's the best one. My shit's about to die.
Oh shit.
Then stop fingering it.
You can't stop me.
So I guess we should talk about what we're playing on the next one.
Yes, we should.
Peaches, would you like to do the honors?
I swear to God, if he's looking at Left 4 Dead naked mods again.
I don't know where he went. He disappeared.
Like, I had to turn off my computer and I came back to him and Guinea pissing their ass off at a mod about Coach becoming a fucking burger.
I had to get a charger for my phone, but yes, that was the funniest thing because it's just Coach. He's a giant fucking burger, but then he has like high heels, a thong, and like garter belt and everything on. It's the fucking greatest. Son of a bitch. Okay, yeah, sorry. I had to do something real quick. Do I want to do the honors?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna die here for a second. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, so the next game that we are talking about in the podcast is a game called Astral Chain. Now, I just recently got this game for Christmas, and apparently Logan and Banjo already had this game. So, yeah, why the hell not? Anyways, this is I don't know anything about this game. I actually just started playing it. I'm probably an hour in, maybe, and I know absolutely nothing about the game. I was going to say, Banjo, do you want to tell me about the game that I bought? Or I guess I didn't really buy it, did I? Never mind. My brain's not here.
I could sum it up in a few words.
Banjo, tell me about
Do
this
it.
game.
What, do you want me to sum it up?
Yeah, give it a quick summary.
Do it, Daddy.
Futuristic apocalypse Tokyo, but with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's a
So
pretty good summary, actually.
Stances? You mean homoerotic stances?
Well, yes.
Anything could be homoerotic if you're brave enough.
And I am brave enough.
Astral Chain, it came out back in 2019. It's kind of like an action adventure hack and slash game where you play as a member of this police agency, because there's like these like chimera kind of things that are coming out of a different dimension into the world, but they're invisible to pretty much everybody except for a select few individuals who have this thing called the astral chain, which allows them to basically capture a chimera type deal. So you capture one of these doohickey guys, and it lets you see the other ones, and you use it in battle. It's almost like you're tethered to each other by like one of those like little toddler tethers that you have, so you don't lose your child in a crowd or at the zoo in the monkey enclosure. Anyway, you you have these things and you battle these other things, and they're ultimately creating these portals that are breaking apart the world, and they're like slaughtering all of humanity kind of thing. And the dimensional barrier is kind of breaking more and more, and these people are getting killed, and you're like the one and only force that can stop this apocalypse type deal from happening and ruining all of humanity. So it's a lot of fun. Like the combat is pretty intense. It can be complicated at times because there's a lot of different shit that you can do in these combats, but it's a lot of fun. It's if I remember correctly, it's made by the same people that made it was directed by the lead game designer of Nier Automata.
Yeah.
So, okay. So it's got a lot of instances where it's kind of similar in terms of combat with those, but it is a blast. I actually have quite a bit of time into the game. I kind of went pretty hard on the game when I first got it, but I'm definitely going to be starting over from the very beginning so I can get more of an in-depth understanding of the story and the characters from what I remember when I played it before.
Well, you have to now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely have to.
I'm gonna do the same, like start over from the beginning. I only got like an hour into the game, so I can't really.
Oh yeah, I got like 5 or 6 hours into the game, so I got pretty a lot further in the story than these two guys did. But I'm like I said, I'm going to be starting over and seeing how far I can get into the game before the next podcast, and I'm actually really excited to do that because I really enjoyed this game.
I actually think this might be a game we might actually be able to complete because it's not a very long game.
It's not?
No, it's like 10 hours long.
Oh, that's not that bad then. I was probably about halfway through it then.
This might be the one game that we actually finish on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be pretty cool.
In case anybody doesn't know, we get about a week to play these games. So if it's something that we have played before, we usually kind of have a leg up in talking about the game. But we can't really give too many spoilers to people. That wouldn't be fair or fun.
Right. Yeah. So we'll just give a brief summary of whatever we experienced when we did it. In the next podcast, we'll talk a little bit about its development. We'll talk a bit about its story, its settings, its characters. And then, of course, we'll go into how we felt about the game ultimately. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to see this little cyberpunk adventure through.
I will say that there's a scene in it where like it just gave me pure, what would you call it, euphoria, where like you just get chills and like excitement.
Oh, is that when the two main characters fuck vigorously on the screen?
They do that.
Yeah, it's a Switch game. I don't think they're going to be doing that anytime soon. Just saying. Despite my disappointment.
No, I was on about this. I was on about the scene where the father figure goes up against the four chimeras.
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh,
a good
like,
one.
That was such a big ballsy move.
That's a good one. I don't know if Peaches got that far into it.
Did not.
So you got something to look forward to.
Yeah. Also,
Quite a bit I got to do.
to
Yeah.
also say, no, I'll just say it next week.
Perfect.
Okay. I know what I have to look up now. You two continue talking.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I already know how much I enjoyed this game, so I don't have very much as far as predictions go. I probably will dig a little bit more into the missions because I didn't do a lot of exploring when I was doing the missions. I was just kind of running through them really quick, but apparently you can find things like accessories and costumes and things like that hidden throughout certain levels if you explore them. So I'm definitely going to be doing that more in this playthrough. So I'm expecting to be a little bit more in depth with how I play the game this time around.
Straight crickets. Crickets is what I say.
I was waiting for somebody else to do their predictions.
Okay, so since I already started it, I do have some critical things to say, but I will wait for the next podcast. My predictions for this game is I'm probably going to be focusing mainly on the mechanics of the game and how well the interactions sort of go between are they chimeras that you're commanding?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
If they're called chimeras, the interaction between the main character and the chimeras, which you can control independently, which is something I'm interested to see how that sort of works out. And from what I understand, you can get more chimeras on the way to the end of the game. So my predictions for that are my main focus, my main criticism is probably going to be on the mechanics and how they sort of meld together.
Yeah, you definitely get more as the game progresses.
I'm just excited for the music because the music fucking bops.
Oh yeah, I really like the soundtrack to this game.
Like, I don't like techno, but my god. It's like a techno rock or techno metal.
I am a huge fan of techno, so this techno rock or whatever that's playing in this game is definitely up my alley.
I thought you were going to say it's up your ass.
Well, that too. It's quite a lot up my ass these days.
Well, you better eat those chicken wings to clean yourself out.
You know I will. All right. Well, I guess with that'll about do it, and we'll wrap this bad boy up this time. Thank you all so much for listening. If you got this far, you are quite amazing. And you can find all of our stuff, links to all of our social media if you want to follow any of us or follow our official Twitter at joystickslunatics.com. It's also Joystick Loons on Twitter if you just want to go straight to the Twitter. We all have our own individual Twitter handles. Mine's at BanjomanDudeGuy.
Mine's at OverpoweredPeach.
And mine is TheChubbyNerd1.
And be sure to go to twitch.tv and follow TheChubbyNerdLogan on there and watch all of his playthroughs. He does some amazing playthroughs of several different games. He plays them to the end. He recently finished Persona 5, which was pretty good. And I have no idea what he's going to be starting here very soon, but you should definitely go and check him out.
I don't even know what I play anymore. I only streamed once last week. I don't even know anymore.
Oh no.
You could stream Astral Chain.
You could.
I can't.
Oh wait, he couldn't. Yeah, he doesn't have a capture card for his Switch.
I've got an extra capture card. I'll send it your way.
Fun.
Oh, fun. You seem so enthusiastic about that.
You can use OBS with it.
OBS doesn't even know how to, like, suck nuts.
Would it be good if it knew how to suck nuts?
Probably. That means, like, it wouldn't, like, fuck up every once in a while. Let's have a look at my spam email.
Yeah, see if you got anything in the spam folder.
I actually do.
Oh no.
Hello. We have a runway fashion label from Fashion Week interested in working with you on Instagram. The brand Check NYC Runway has over 220,000 followers on at Check NYC on Instagram and has won awards for being the #1 organic collection featured at Fashion Week. Fuck off.
They like your fashion. You're a sexy bitch.
I don't even post pictures of myself on Instagram anymore. When I post about our, like, podcast, I don't even use pictures for the podcast. I just, like, find random pictures.
All right, well, I know that we kind of missed out and dropped the ball on this one last time, but we definitely have to do one this time. Logan, what is the Scottish insult of the week?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I was trying to say it in the re-recording, but you guys just like, nah, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, fuck off.
Okay, how about this? You're the reason dildos were invented.
Oh no,
That's
that's Scottish in origin?
I have no idea.
That's pretty mean.
Say with a thicker Scottish accent.
You're the fucking reason why dildos were invented, you cunt.
But wait, now it's just confusing because you called them the cunt. But wouldn't dildos be working on the cunt?
No, I'm basically saying that they are the reason dildos were invented. They've got such a small knob. Their sex life is inquisitive.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
You guys have foreskins, don't you?
No.
No.
Fucking weirdos.
Excuse me, it wasn't my choice. It's not like I popped out the womb and I was like, Daddy, cut the skin off my penis off, please. Father.
It's not like we didn't have a choice. We're not like, hold on, wait, let's talk about this.
No, it's just because it's actually starting to get really fucking cold here. Like last night, it got to like -10, and
Did your foreskin just shrivel back?
no, I think it almost froze shut where my pee had to unthaw it.
You go to pee and it just blows up like a balloon.
It felt like it hurt. It kind of felt like when you stretch your cheeks out to the maximum when you like kind of blow up your cheeks.
Well,
Well, we're done here. We're gonna end it on that note.
Yeah, if you have a foreskin, don't live in cold areas.
use your words.
Baby's first foreskin.
Also, I love it how you two yesterday were like, maybe if we didn't like, get as many speech mistakes, then there's me over here with a fucking speech impediment that like fondles on my own words.
All right, thanks again so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I really need to fart though.
That's the ending sound.